13-10. Craig Bullerjack back along with Trevor Maddich. First quarter, Doug Flutie. Second quarter, Rob Johnson.
Yeah, and Rob Johnson really was the guy who had to really step up. Everything went great for Doug Flutie in the first quarter. He did well, but it's easy to do well when things are going your way. Rob Johnson had to turn it around on the road and excel in the second quarter to get his team back into this. And so both quarterbacks can be proud of what they accomplished in the first half.
First half, you give it a push?
First half, well, you know, you give it a push, but really what it amounts to is that both teams managed, or both quarterbacks managed their offense as well. And as these guys look to look good in this game, their first head-to-head meeting since that whole big debacle and the departure of Doug Flutie from Buffalo, you know, when you talk about giving it a push, it's really got to be the teams. And right now, the teams are pushing it.
Third quarter underway. And a big kick about 5 yards deep, and Black will take a knee. And so Buffalo will start at their own 20-yard line. And just moments ago, our own Scott Kaplan had a chance to talk to Greg Williams, head coach of Buffalo.
Contact the AAA representative. Security office, gate F. This service is provided free. Compliments of the Honolulu Club of Southern California.
Scott, this is a close team.
If you want to golf,
I'll apologize for our technical problems there. And now Johnson throws near sideline. Peerless. Price breaks a tackle.
Boy, how many times have you seen Joe Montana throw that to Jerry Rice? Little throw, and Rice turns on the jets and runs. That's one of the attributes of the West Coast offense, is you throw the ball short most of the time and let the receiver gain the yardage in yards after the catch.
Peerless Price, a great track man at Tennessee, once clocked 6.52, Trevor, in the 55-meter dash.
I can run 6.52, but, you know, about 20 meters.
Living room to the fridge?
Yes. Depends on what I'm bringing back to the couch.
Yeah, depends if both hands are full, right? Johnson under pressure. Houdini throws. Oh, incomplete. Sheldon Jackson, 88. Incomplete. The backup tight end, Rogers Beckett, had a big hit.
Well, more than just Houdini. Once again, both defensive ends of San Diego beat their tackles one-on-one. And Rob Johnson has to defeat each one of them on the scramble. First Rayleigh Johnson there, and then Wiley there. He's got to beat them both individually, and then he gets the ball away. And so the good thing there is that, you know, he's not dizzy. Usually if two defensive ends come free at the same time, the quarterback ends up seeing little birdies flying around.
Double tight set on third down and short. Call it one. Chargers showing blitz. Seau creeps up. Heavy pressure. Johnson out of the pocket. Little push pass sideline. And down around the 45-yard line. Boy, that looked like Flutie. That's improvising a little bit.
Well, Rob Johnson said yesterday that last year's offense was much more an improvisational offense. This year's is much more structured, but, you know, that was a Doug Flutie move. He just flipped the ball out there. Once again, he's got to get away from Rayleigh Johnson, number 99. He scrambles out, thinks better of it when he sees big number 37, Rodney Harrison, coming, and just flips the ball. That's good improvisation in an offense that's supposed to be highly structured.
1st and 10. 3 wide receivers set for Buffalo from the 45-yard line. Squeezing out some hard yardage. Larry Centers. Larry Centers been around this league, Trevor, a long time. 12 years out of Stephen F. Austin. NFL's all-time career receiver by a running back. It's amazing. 720 catches. 4th on active receptions list and 13th all-time receptions list, but number 1 as a running back.
They've got him split out wide right now as the wide receiver up at the top.
Again, pressure. They tried to hit the hot slant. Incomplete. It was up for grabs. Bodies on the deck. It was Peerless Price, the intended receiver. Ryan McNeil there to make the hit. Good look at McNeil. Last week, big game against Denver. Had 11 total tackles and the 1 interception to move his number to 6, which now leads the league. And this crowd on their feet waving the crazy towels on 3rd down. and 8. Price in motion. Johnson throws far sideline and leaning out close to the first down, Eric Moles. And McNeil trying to hold him off on the first down, but looks like the spot will give Buffalo fresh downs.
Well, Moles is not really built like a receiver. His physique is more like a strong safety. So once he makes this catch, the cornerback, Ryan McNeil, is trying to pull him down. But at that point, it's brute strength against brute strength. And Eric Moles is going to beat most corners in the league.
Moles now 4 catches for 31 yards. Clock running, coming up on 12 minutes left, third quarter. Tight game. Buffalo taking the opening kick here and moving. Travis Henry tripped up, but again rips off 12 yards. Rodney Harrison made the tackle at the 32, call it the 31-yard line.
It's important that they continue to hit the run, because the running game is how they're going to get to those second and third and short situations where they can get first downs. And one thing that defensive coach Greg Williams, defensive minded, told us yesterday is that an offensive coach will get away from the running game late in the game sometimes, but a defensive coach, no matter what the score is, will keep running.
8th play of this drive. 2 wideouts near side. Play action protection for Rob Johnson. Still looking. Good coverage downfield and throws it away.
Now they only had 2 receivers out that time. Peerless Price was short. Eric Moles was deep. And Eric Moles was double covered. There was nowhere for him to go.
And Johnson took a shot. Looks like he's holding onto the what, right ankle? Oh boy.
Yeah, that's
and Alex Van Pelt, his backup, number 10, 6-year pro out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it looks like Orlando Ruff somehow, when he got those legs together, somehow he must have hit him in the shin or hit him in the ankle somehow. It was all wrapped up into the body of Orlando Ruff. And when, boy, Rob Johnson pounded the ground like that, that's usually a thing of not pain but frustration, which means, well, that it's not always good.
You know, we saw him walking and warming up. I mean, this guy is put together, but yet susceptible to injury.
Well, susceptible to injury because he puts himself in a position to get nailed. I mean, keep in mind the guy that wrapped him up there was the middle linebacker, Orlando Ruff. And so he was trying to make that play down the field, and really, you know, he went back to his habit. And this is a habit he's got to break, which is hold the ball too long, waiting for a big play to come open down the field and take a hit a lot of times. Now, he doesn't do that to pad his stats. He does that because he wants to make a big play and he's willing to take the hit. The problem is when you're in college, you can take those hits, but in the pros, the guys that are hitting you are going to knock you out of the game. And so one of the great things about last week in Jacksonville was that he really started to slide more. He stepped out of bounds more, and he threw the ball away more so that he wouldn't take those hits. On this particular play, Moles was double covered. There was no way that he was going to be completed, and really the better part of valor might have been to just have gone down or stepped out.
Rob Johnson moves to the sideline, 12 of 19, 145 yards, and his backup, Alex Van Pelt, who's thrown 46 passes, completed 26, 56% completion percentage, now takes over, second down. Throws far side, and it's caught. Good coverage, good pursuit by San Diego. Eric Moles with another catch.
And here's the thing about Van Pelt. He actually operates this West Coast offense at this point in the season better than Rob Johnson does in terms of making the reads, making the decisions. He's a very precise guy, a smart guy, but he doesn't have the physical gifts. Especially, he doesn't have the mobility. The problem here is, remember all of the sacks and hits that Rob Johnson avoided from Marcellus Wiley and Ray Lee Johnson in the first half. Well, Alex Van Pelt isn't that shifty. He's going to get hit by those guys more than Rob did.
You saw Johnson head into the locker room. Now Van Pelt steps up and throws on a knee. Complete at the 27-yard line. Davion Black with the reception, but short of the first down. There's Rob Johnson. Now you see a lot of players it's just 2 trainers with him. What, retape?
Well, first they got to find out what's wrong. And I think what they'll do is they'll take the tape off and they'll start to poke around and see if they can feel a tear, see if they can, if it's sprained, if it's torn, if it's what. And if it seems like it's structurally sound, they'll retape it with extra super mega tape and then see if he can play.
Arians will try a 45-yarder. This would tie the game. Replacement's down. Line drive kick. It's going to be short. No good from 45. .954 left in the third quarter, and the Chargers up by 3.
Welcome back to San Diego. The Chargers leading the Bills 13-10. Rob Johnson's been taken off the field. That means Alex Van Pelt is now in at quarterback for Buffalo. Interesting story this week, John Butler told us. He said, while Johnson and Flutie were at each other's throats last year, it was Alex Van Pelt who kept that locker room together. He becomes the third part now of the Johnson-Flutie saga. Back up to you, Craig.
Thank you, Scott. Peacemaker. Now Flutie, first offensive series. Bills showing blitz. They stay on the ground. Tomlinson stacked up, lost a yard, back around the 26, or pardon me, the 34-yard line.
So Van Pelt was the peacemaker. I guess that would make him the Pepto-Bismol of the Buffalo locker room last year.
You know what? Good way to put it. Tums, Rolaids, whatever you want to say.
He was the antacid because there was plenty of acrimony in there. You've got two quarterbacks in Flutie and Johnson that are absolutely competitive. Neither one had any intention of being the backup, and it ended up being an untenable situation.
Second down, 11. 35-yard line. Flutie, quick throw over the middle, complete. Jeff Graham, who had 7 catches last week against the Broncos and a pair of touchdowns, pulls down a big grab here. Ken Irvin made the tackle.
You know what strikes me here, Craig, is that ever since the end of the first quarter, we have not talked much about San Diego's offense because they haven't done much. All of a sudden, this play comes up and it's like, oh wow, the San Diego offense is here still. You know, and so it looks they've got to sort of restart and reset and get things going.
Well, Flutie was 12 of 19 in the first half, 135 yards, but got most of those in the first 15 minutes
quarter
here in San Diego. Under 9 minutes left, third quarter, 1st and 10. Flutie, deep drop, throws up and over, connects. Ball's on the deck. They're going to say, I saw one official say incomplete, and another lets this play run out. It was picked up by Brandon Spoon.
You know what's crazy is the officiating crew doesn't know. I saw 3 of the officials chasing that play, looking over at the referee to see what he was going to say happened.
A catch and a fumble. Buffalo football.
Wow.
Spoon, the rookie from North Carolina.
Well, this is a deep crossing route. They've got maximum protection. No, they'll replay that, and that's definitely an incomplete pass. Yeah. No way in the world he had this would be the one to replay.
Tell you now, all the men in stripes have gathered at the 45-yard line.
The ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. Ball remains in San Diego's possession. Second down.
Yeah, that's the right call. So they don't need to challenge it. That is correct. But that's what I was saying, is that the officials were looking around at one another to see who saw it. And in the beginning, they said it was a fumble, and in the end, it was overruled by the referee on the field. They didn't need it. Right there, his hands are, he does not have control of the ball when he comes down. He has control in the air, but he loses that control when one foot hits, and before the other one comes down, he's bobbling it again.
Well, Buffalo's offense has to shuffle off to Buffalo. Defensively, they come back. Now it's second down and 10 from the 46 for the Chargers. Flutie trying to set up the screen. Heavy pressure, incomplete.
Well, we should have illegal linemen down the field as well.
Late flag now thrown back at the 30-yard line. I see 1-2 big O linemen around the 50-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like Raleigh Roundtree, the left guard, was running a 9 route. But that's not what they called. That's interesting.
Grounding and loss of down.
Yeah, because there was nobody out. Now take a look at the running back. He's supposed to come out and get this screen. But does he get out? No, he gets jammed up, and he's right there on the ground.
Oh, he's tackled down. Yeah.
Right, and the ball's going to land right there, and the running back's on the ground back over here. So it's intentional grounding because the ball was thrown under pressure where there was nobody remotely close to catch it.
Rob Johnson in the locker room. Put a clock on it, about 7 minutes of actual clock time.
And he's not limping.
No.
He's not limping. And he looks focused. I like that. His eyes are small. They're not big like teacups.
Third down and 24. 4 wide out. Shotgun, Flutie. Steps, throws. Oh, what a catch at the 50-yard line. Up in traffic, Curtis Conway. Keon Carpenter got the lick, but Conway able to pull it down short of the first down.
Yep, they got a punt. And again, a confidence-building drive-ending play there on third down for this defense. Conway's at the top of your, or the left of your screen, number 80. He makes a nice catch, that's fine, but it's short of the first down.
So Bennett will kick from his own 35-yard line. Trying to punch this ball inside the 10. At the 13, it's Price. Peerless Price at the 25, breaks the tackle at the 30. And Peerless Price out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Ronnie Jenkins, playing some special teams, made the tackle. Rob Johnson's back. The helmet's tied on, and we'll be back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. PS1, wherever, whenever, forever. And by Chrysler, drive equals love.
Well, Monday on CBS, been Halloween with the King of Queens. Is an episode so funny it's downright scary. Monday on CBS. Rob Johnson under center at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 Buffalo. Ankle's been taped. Johnson in trouble, dancing, looks to move well. Picked up a yard to the 37. Rayleigh Johnson, though, closed it down.
Well, he gets sacked a lot this time because his receivers couldn't get open. Once again, they put him into a 5-step drop, which means that they want the receivers to have time to get open a little deeper down the field. And you know something? I don't know that that's the thing to do right now. Now, it's 5-step drop. He looks. His first read is covered. He looks back to the left. The second read is covered. Don't put him in that position right now.
Clock under 7 minutes. Buffalo tries the ground. Not much for Travis Henry.
And John Perella has a couple words for the rookie. That guy's got a Harley Davidson, an Ultra Classic. I went out and looked at it at their practice facility, and it had a helmet on the seat about the size of New Jersey.
Hey, when you're 6'3", 305, you got to have that big seat.
Well, he's pure Americana, and he went ahead and put the wood on to Travis Henry that time.
This game, I'm sure, means a lot to him. He's got the Buffalo connection, as I mentioned. 2nd-round pick back in '93. Johnson throws near side, caught.
Good.
Eric Moles, who's been very busy, close to the first down, depends on the mark at the 45.5-yard line. Alex Molden made the hit.
I like this. I like this. This is relatively short. Now, it's 3rd and long, and, you know, he's very close to the first down here, but I like it that they allowed Rob Johnson to throw it short and then require the receiver to run past yardage required for the first down, rather than let the routes develop that deep, because that puts Rob Johnson at risk.
Very close. One chain link. Look at that.
The offensive line wants to go for it, so you have to. The offensive line is looking at Greg Williams, head coach, and saying, you know what, go for it. And when the offensive line says that, you do not turn the big boys down.
Eric Moles, by the way, on that last catch, just tied Bob Chandler for 5th place on Buffalo's all-time receiving list. He now has 295 receptions.
I'll tell you right now, big 97 John Perella is going to be right in the middle if they try to run up there.
Buffalo, Trevor, 4 of 7 this season on 4th down. Rob Johnson needs about a ½ inch. Keeper, up and over. Got it.
We talked about taking ownership, about how Mark Banker, in calling the defenses for San Diego, lets players take ownership by saying what they were most comfortable with, so they execute it better because they have a vested interest in it. Here the offensive line said go for it, so they said, okay guys, nothing tricky, you want to go for it, we're gonna pound it right there with you.
And there's Greg Williams in his first season, hired back on February 1st.
And that fist goes to the offensive line.
Former Titan defensive coordinator, now with his first opportunity as a head coach. Johnson can run, and a lot of room at the 40.
Oh, slide.
I see no applause from you. You're right.
No,
one time
flag.
he had the hook slide and you were applauding. This time you said get down, but flags are down.
There are 2 flags down. There are 4 guys, 2 Chargers and 2 Bills, that took about 30 seconds to get up off the ground. Big train wreck back there around the pocket.
Holding, offense, number 79. This penalty is declined. Holding, left tackle. This penalty is accepted. 10 yards. Repeat, first down.
Well, the first one on Reuben Brown. That's the 5-time Pro Bowler. And then John Fina, number 70, also flagged.
Well, they're both going to hold. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Fina makes a tackle. Yeah, and then you can see, yeah, both of them held. Both of them held. They're trying to protect their quarterback. And you know what? I like that. Those are 2 veteran guys. They didn't let their quarterback get hit. Better to take the loss of 10 than to get him hit.
Double tight set to the near side. Chargers bringing some heat. They throw underneath. Ball tipped around and caught.
Well, that's pass interference. He was hit before that ball got there. That's why it was tipped.
Peerless Price picks up 2 yards the hard way up to the 39-yard line. Tate Cody was there, the rookie from Florida State.
Well, there's not a whole lot of organization here on either side right now. This is not looking like precise offense or defense. It's looking like 22 guys running around out there in the dark.
Clock running. There's a comparison. It was so one-sided for Flutie early, and now almost a dead heat.
And he's frustrated. Look at that frustration on his face that he's standing on the sideline with a cap on.
Rob Johnson on second down, sets it up, the screen. Henry at the 40, Henry at the 45. And Henry bangs his way to the 46-yard line. Leonardo Carson put the helmet on him.
You know what? I can't imagine why Junior Seau was still on this field. He blitzed that time, and he ran a lot slower than I would backwards because that groin is bothering him. And the problem with a groin injury, take a look at Junior. He'll be coming from the right side of your screen, 55. Look how slow he comes in there. When you've got a groin injury, it's not like other injuries that don't deteriorate. Some injuries, like Marcus Wiley, who has a broken foot, if you can deal with the pain, you can play. A groin injury will deteriorate, and Junior shouldn't be there.
We'll take a break. 3:52 left, third quarter. Tight one here in San Diego.
Leonardo Carson and Rodney Harrison hit each other's teammates helmet to helmet with their heads down. Oh, right there. I'll tell you what, Rodney Harrison came into this game. That is dangerous. He came into this game 3 inches taller than Doug Flutie. Right now, I think they see eye to eye. We can make that joke because he's okay, but you know something? He might not have been. That was dangerous.
4 tackles on the day as the catch is pulled down by Larry Sinners, now with 125 straight games with a reception, but a flag down.
Well, that's the scariest thing in football, in my opinion, is when guys have their head down and they get struck on the top of the head, because you cannot, your neck muscles have nothing to do with buttressing that. You know, there's been a rule ever since high school that is never hit what you don't see.
Yeah.
Because if you can see it, that means your head is up. If your head is up, that means that you can deliver quite a blow and you'll be all right.
Tim Dwight, as Harrison throws the towel over his head on the bench. Mormon, Brian Mormon, and a Pittsburgh State ready to punt. High snap and a high hanger. Fair catch. Dwight pedals back at the 11-yard line. 41-yard kick. Flutie will have it when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nextel, how business gets done, and by Sun America, the retirement specialist.
Trevor, of the surprise teams this year, which one has the best shot of going the distance? Bears, Bengals, Browns, Chargers, Niners, Steelers. Just log on and cast your vote at NFL.com.
I know you got to look at Bears and Steelers in there, are just having incredible seasons.
Whoa! Flutie.
Safety.
Where do they mark him at? Oh, inside the 1-foot line.
Well, that's the advantage of being so small. He wasn't big enough to straddle that white line there.
Boy, Bryce Fisher had him wrapped up.
Well, now Doug Flutie knows what it's like. He knows what it's like to be Rob Johnson. He loops inside, comes completely unblocked, and now Flutie's going, what do I look like, Rob Johnson to you? Completely unblocked right in the face of the quarterback. Well, that's a scary thing for a quarterback, and he strips the ball out. I'll tell you what, right now, boy, he looks like he's going, how does it feel, Doug? How does it feel to have an offensive line that once in a while doesn't block for you? Now, this is a good offensive line. That doesn't happen very much to these guys, but you know something, sometimes the shoe gets on the other foot.
Well, you got a young left tackle in McIntosh, only a second-year pro out of Kansas State. He's 24.
Well, he's a good one too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to challenge this. Price is going to rip the ball out. Now take a look at what happens. The ball. And so they've got two things to look at. One is it a fumble? I don't think it is. The second thing is it a safety? Which is tough.
You know what? I thought Flutie may have done a very smart thing. He knows he's in big trouble. Look how quickly he tries to get on the deck.
Yeah, you can see his knee right there. Yeah. His left knee, he takes it and sticks it down. But this is going to be very, very, yeah, it's definitely not a fumble. He's down before the ball comes loose. So the question then becomes, was that knee down before the ball broke the plane? Look at his left knee.
Boy, look, oh,
boy, it's
that's
down.
close.
Its left knee goes down about 8 inches into the blue. And it doesn't have to be into the blue. It's the beginning of the white line, the green field sign to the white line. That is the beginning of the plane of the end zone. So that knee came down inside. It depends on, though, where the ball is, because the ball was in his right arm, which was the upfield arm.
Referee Tony Corrente.
The two views that we just saw, it was not conclusive. I could not tell from those. And that's going to be the key. It doesn't really matter, you know, whether it was a safety or not. The matter is there compelling evidence to overrule the call on the field? It's like the law, you know, what's right isn't what counts. It's what you can prove that matters. See, in this view right there, now you can't tell in that view, where's that ball? You can't really tell in that angle. It's very difficult. It looks in that angle like it is a safety, but it's hard to tell.
Well, Tony Corrente's microphone
play stands
has lost power, but as you just heard the PA announcer saying that the play stands. Buffalo, for the second time today, challenging and losing that challenge. They burn a timeout, 2 remaining, and the Chargers with 3. You know, in what's turning out to be a very close game, 3-11 and counting left third quarter. Flutie from the end zone. Hooks up with Conway.
I'll tell you this, though, Craig. We talked earlier about in the first quarter, it was everything going Doug Flutie's way against Rob Johnson. It was Rob Johnson who had to deal with adversity, and he did. Now, for the first time, Doug Flutie on his own 1-inch line has got to deal with some serious adversity as well. Let's see what he'll do.
A 3rd down and 14. Look at that. First quarter, Buffalo minus 12 yards. Since then, 216, and the Chargers, as you mentioned, going the other way.
You know why that happens? I'll tell you why after this play.
3rd down and 14. Flutie now throws underneath. Not much. Fletcher.
Here's why that happens. That happens because San Diego is the team that has all the advantages, and they know it. They come out in the first quarter, and everything they do works. They're all fired up for the game. They come out and dominate the team. That's fine. The problem is that Buffalo is so young that they don't know that they should sort of fold because they're gone. They have no shot. So Buffalo keeps fighting, and San Diego goes into cruise control at the beginning of the second quarter.
Darren Bennett 2 yards deep in his own end zone. Needs a big boot. Buffalo's going to have fine field position no matter. Nate Clements at the 40, and he's popped and dropped. Good coverage by the Chargers special teams. 47-yard kick and a 5-yard return. 1:38 left in the third. Well, tonight on 60 Minutes, did Saddam Hussein have a hand in the terror attack on the United States? Leslie Stahl reports from Saddam Zorak tonight on 60 Minutes. Buffalo with the football down 3. Sayal, who's got the groin problem, still finding a way to get it done.
Well, he's finding a way because he anticipates what's happening. He's smart. He knows what they are going to do based on how they line up, based on where the offensive lineman's eyes are darting. I mean, lots of little things that he looks at. He's not able to get in there because of physical ability. He's able to get in there because he reads the play. He just bursts in there. But I think it's dangerous for him to be in there because if he aggravates that groin, he might miss 3 weeks.
Well, you made a great point because he's got games coming up against Kansas City, Denver, and Oakland. AFC West. Oh! What a pop! My goodness. Rogers Beckett said hello on Peerless Price.
Wow. Just watch his head and shoulders. 81's head and shoulders. Peerless Price. They go that away. Boink. Oof. You know, your head and shoulders aren't supposed to look like that, where they sort of hunch up and goes over. That wasn't a dangerous hit in any way. It was very clean, but man, was it hard.
Beckett, the free safety. Second-year pro Anna Marshall. Peerless Price with 5 catches on the afternoon. Rob Johnson. Ball batted, incomplete.
That's John Perella. The thing of it is, he sticks his arm up in the air, and the problem is that his arm is like wide. It's like a couple of tennis rackets up there. You know, you can't just sneak a ball by there. There's a lot of blockage in the air when he sticks that big gun up in the air. For those of you figure skaters out there, that's what a big arm looks like. Actually, for those of you football players, that's what a big arm looks like. That's big. All figure skaters, send your cards and letters to Craig Mullerjack.
Thanks. Second down 10, 45-yard line. Chargers showing blitz. Here they come. Johnson flips it out. Nice catch by Sinners. Trying to change direction. Gerald Dixon grabbed the jersey and pulled him down around the 44-yard line.
That's what I'm talking about, the courage of Rob Johnson. That time the blitz came, he stood in and delivered the ball, and that's very courageous. You know, there I wasn't sure if he spit out a tooth or not, but you know, something good for him for standing in.
Well, that ends the third quarter of play with the score San Diego 13, Buffalo 10. We'll return to Qualcomm Stadium right after this message and a word from your local station. Well, we start the fourth quarter and San Diego Chargers on top 13-10. Junior Seau taking a little bit of a break. I don't know if that's for the remainder of the game, but still, you know what? He's coaching. If he doesn't play, he coaches.
He's almost on the field now.
Johnson in trouble, throws incomplete.
Okay. Well, once again, 99 Rayleigh Johnson, 75 Marcellus Wiley. I'll meet you at the quarterback, and they did.
Eric Moles, the intended receiver. Let's go downstairs. Scott Kaplan. Scott?
Yeah, guys, Junior's taking himself out of the game. This wasn't a medical decision by the staff. Junior just came off the field and said, I've had enough as of right now. He's put a baseball cap on. He's, for the most part, playing coach and cheerleader. I'll let you know if he plans on getting back in the game. Back upstairs, Craig.
You know, I'll tell you why he did that. Because it's either, he told us yesterday, it's either all or nothing. He'll go 100% or he's coming out, and he can't go 100% right now.
Fourth down. Mormon will kick for Buffalo. High hanger. Fair catch. And Buffalo is going to pin San Diego deep at around the 1 or 2 yard line. A terrific punt. 42-yard pooch. Timeout. 14:42 left. Thursday on CBS. Find out why just getting a drink of water can be a life-threatening adventure. Don't miss an all-new Survivor Thursday on CBS. Who will survive today? Will it be Rob Johnson or Doug Flutie?
I don't know. There's a big old wildebeest by that water hole.
Understand the word on Junior, who you just saw. He's going to go in next series. Oh! Chargers trying to work themselves some breathing room and some tough hitting there. Tomlinson, the rookie, took a shot that picked up about 5 yards. You know, the other subplot to this, the craziness this past week in Buffalo and San Diego, not only Rob Johnson and Doug Flutie, but it also centers, Trevor, around Buffalo former GM John Butler, who took the job after 14 years and now has the same role, same capacity here in San Diego. Flutie, 2nd down 5. First down Chargers. Jeff Graham able to get underneath the coverage at the 29-yard line.
He sees man coverage out here. Graham's going to run straight up the field, bend in just a little bit, and here comes the ball. The safety, Keon Carpenter, is too late to get over to stop that because Flutie has a stronger arm than he might have anticipated. Keon Carpenter was expecting that thing to float a little bit, and Flutie drilled it.
That's the Chargers, only their 2nd first down this half. Hard running. Tomlinson dropped around the 29.
Now, the thing about John Butler is that he spent 14 seasons there, 11 of them playoff years. And so, you know, Buffalo fans really ought to think of him with fondness. But the way he left was a lot of acrimony. There was some question about contract negotiations and offers and things like that between owner Ralph Wilson and John Butler. And they didn't really see eye to eye. And finally, Ralph Wilson fired John Butler with a week to go in the regular season last year. And so, you know, that caused a lot of bad blood on both sides.
Flutie, strong arms, nearly picked. Incomplete. Good coverage. Jeff Graham, the intended receiver. Nick Clements on the cover. Trevor, the interesting part about Ralph Wilson, who obviously has great respect around the National Football League. These two franchises, one of the original, both original in the American Football League, is this. He made a comment about this game basically means more than winning the Super Bowl.
And he said that back in April when the schedules came out, and I don't think he believes that. He'd like to win this game. I think that was said in the heat of the moment. At the same time, though, it shows you how hot that moment was.
3rd down and 9. Flutie, good protection, throws. It's complete, but way short of the first down. Fletcher made the catch.
See, the thing of it is, you know, there were a lot of things that happened, and there's a lot of dust in the air, and it's hard to see through to all the truth. But part of it was that Ralph Wilson wanted to renegotiate John Butler's contract. His contract was coming up at the end of February, and Butler had never renegotiated a contract during the season. And so I think that when he wasn't willing to do that, that was one of the things that angered Ralph Wilson, and Ralph Wilson fired him. And then a couple weeks later, he ends up signing with San Diego. And so Ralph Wilson believed that Butler already had the San Diego job lined up while he was still under contract with Buffalo. And again, John Butler will dispute that. However, and he does dispute that. But that's what Ralph Wilson believed, and that's one of the reasons that he said he wants to win this week so badly.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway. Fresh-made sandwiches on fresh baked bread. Subway, eat fresh. Cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Never miss a genuine opportunity. And by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Welcome back to San Diego. 11:54 left. Junior Seau had told Scott Kaplan, thought he'd probably try to work his way back into the defensive lineup, but still on the sideline with the baseball cap. 11:54 left. A lot of time left in this football game. Rob Johnson starts off throwing on first down, incomplete. You know, another part of this wild story, Trevor, is the fact not only Johnson and Flutie, not only is it John Butler and Ralph Wilson, but also is the herd of Buffalo Bills who made their way out here to San Diego. I mean, you got Butler, A.J. Smith, who was with Butler, a longtime assistant, comes out here as the assistant GM. Flutie, Holisek, Rogers, backup backers who now get a lot of playing time, and Marcellus Wiley.
There's a lot of former Bills out here, and really in Buffalo, a bit of a conspiracy theory that they were sort of all brought out here by John Butler, but that's actually kind of bogus because that's not the way it worked out. John Butler was fired. A.J. Smith was not offered a contract. Marcellus Wiley was not offered a contract, and the other three guys were cut. And so really there wasn't any kind of conspiracy. They just ended up here.
Follow all the games on NFL.com, and after the games, get in-depth analysis and recaps from the experts only at NFL.com or AOL keyword NFL.com. 13-10, San Diego leading Buffalo. 11:50 left. Crowd alive. Second down, 10. Rob Johnson throws complete, but a flag thrown where you would think of holding.
Well, everybody went short. They had 4 receivers out in the short zone. Problem is, they ran right to the coverage guys. And Rob Johnson wanted to deliver the ball on a 3-step drop. The offensive line expected it to be gone. But when those defensive linemen kept on rushing, all of a sudden the offensive line has to reset because Rob Johnson.
Number 70, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Rob Johnson looks to his right. And then he hesitates because the coverage is there. He drops back another couple of steps, and then the offensive linemen are all freaked out because the defensive linemen are doing weird things that they don't expect on that play.
6th flag thrown against Buffalo for 46 yards. The Chargers have been flagged 5 times for 49.
Ooh.
Boy, the pads pop. Larry Centers takes a big hit to the 16-yard line, and it was dealt out there by Zeke Moreno, a rookie out of USC.
You know what? The Buffalo's had its best success when it's thrown the ball relatively short with a couple shots down the field. And Larry Centers has carried the ball several times, but they have not been throwing it his way very much. That means they're not throwing it short enough. Larry Centers can't be covered. They've got to use him to pressure the defense.
Well, how about that score? Washington on top of the Giants in the 4th quarter. Johnson throws, picked off. Jason Perry walks in, touchdown.
This is where that courage did him in. Rob Johnson's courage did him in. He delivered that ball to Moles, who was running pretty much open down the sideline. But watch Rob Johnson's shoulders when he's delivered. He's going to be leaning backwards because of the pressure that comes up the middle. Now, number 80, Eric Moles, was open, but because Johnson had to lean back and throw off his back foot, the ball sort of floats up in the air like that wounded duck, and it doesn't carry to where Moles is open.
Ritchie with the extra point. Jason Perry, 3rd-year pro from North Carolina State, rumbles in after picking off Rob Johnson, and the Charger lead is now 10.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper makes the world taste better. And by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
Well, the last time a Charger defensive back picked off a quarterback and ran it for a touchdown, Rodney Harrison did it back on December 24th of 2000, went 63 yards as he got Cordell Stewart. Jason Perry just went 37. 20-10, San Diego. Nate Clements down the sideline, takes a shot at the 39.
Delivers a shot. Wade Ritchie. Welcome to contact, Mr. Ritchie. That, you know, I tell you, he's getting high fives right now because he's on his feet. He ought to be in a bucket right now. Look at number 5, Wade Ritchie. He doesn't hit him. He gets hit. Look. Ooh. You got to give that guy a lot of credit because his body is not conditioned to get thrown in there like that.
Well, for those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you are watching the NFL on CBS and the game between the Buffalo Bills and the San Diego Chargers. Craig Bowler-Jack along with Trevor Manich, and our score is 20-10 San Diego. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game in the Mountain and West Coast time zones. Stay tuned for that. 10:21 left here in San Diego. Buffalo. Rob Johnson throws deep, has a man. Goodbye!
This is exactly the play that interception occurred on. Exactly, except on the opposite side of the field. The receiver ran a streak right up the sideline. It was cover 2, so a safety was coming over the top. And Peerless Price did what Eric Moulds did. Peerless Price outran them both. The problem is the time before, Rob Johnson did not have protection, and he was hit as he threw. This time he had great protection, and he could deliver that ball way down the field. He could step into the throw, and that's not the difference between a good quarterback and a bad quarterback. That's the difference between a quarterback with time and a quarterback without time.
Boy, 61 yards. Did Rob Johnson answer the call after being picked?
Away.
Peerless Price, 6 receptions, 140 yards in the touchdown. Oh, the emotion that you feel here at Qualcomm Stadium. Did you see the smile, Trevor, from Flutie when that ball went in for 6?
Well, it wasn't a smile, it was a grimace. But watch Rob Johnson step into the throw, and that's a long ways down the field. That ball goes about 35, 40 yards in the air. That's because he had a pocket to step up into. That's the only difference between the play that was intercepted by Jason Perry and that play, which was a touchdown to Peerless Price. All comes down to protection.
$10-11 left. That's a lifetime in this league.
And you know, if you want to talk about this being a duel between the quarterbacks, both quarterbacks now have had adversity in this game. Both quarterbacks have been in a position where they've had to rally their team from down. All of a sudden now, Doug Flutie has to answer the call because his team is still up. But I'll tell you what, Rob Johnson is the one who appears to be the warrior and the gladiator and the guy who is making it happen. Now, the final score is the only thing that's going to happen. But if you want to call this thing a duel between the quarterbacks, that guy with the cap on right now has shown an awful lot of guts.
19 of 30 for Rob Johnson, 239. Touchdown you just saw on the pick that went back for 6.
Actually,
and then Doug Flutie with the 1 touchdown throw. Just a 1-yard toss out to Freddie Jones, his tight end. It's a short kick. Ronnie Jenkins at the 6-yard line. Jenkins, always so dangerous. Skips out of a tackle, still on his feet. Good field position for San Diego at the 35-yard line. Tonight after 60 minutes, what do you tell your child when he asks one of life's biggest questions? Well, don't miss an all-new Education of Mac Pickford tonight after 60 minutes on CBS.
Richard Dreyfuss would be a kicker. That's it. Not even a punter. He would just be a kicker.
Yeah, you hate to go back to the survivor line, but is it the Flutie tribe against Johnson's tribe?
Yeah, they're going to vote each other off the island. There won't be a quarterback on either team.
Hayden, the second tight end, goes in motion. Flags are down. Tough running for Tomlinson. Grabbed and pulled down by Phil Hansen. But a flag is down.
Well, Doug Flutie's frustrated here. Well, look at that. There's a coach. That's all the emotion he shows. He's saying, push him back, push him back. Now, that's about it. He just jumped as high as he jumps.
Holding, offense, number 83. 10-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
Again, remember the key here. When San Diego is 3rd and 7 or more, they only 10% of the time convert. So right now, you've got 1st and 20. The key here, these first 2 plays, keep them from getting shorter than 3rd and 7.
First half, Tomlinson dominated. Trevor, 71 yards and 12 carries this half. 3 carries, only 5 yards.
Yeah, they haven't given him the ball. And Buffalo has controlled most of the clock.
First down 20 for San Diego from the 25. Flutie steps and throws. It's caught. And leaning out to the 37-yard line is Jeff Graham. Winfield made the tackle.
Now on this play, 2nd and 9, they got to make sure they don't get more than 2 yards. That's Buffalo's goal on this. Make San Diego be 3rd and 7 or more. They got to hold them to a 2-yard gain.
Conway now 8 catches, 107 yards. Graham having a heck of a game as well. Flutie on second down. Over the middle. Fletcher. That one came from Flutie's hip.
That's the magic pixie dust of Doug Flutie. Fletcher is covered by linebacker Jay Foreman. Flutie double clutches this. He double pumps it. And I don't think he even means to. Look at Flutie's right arm. And then he goes. Well, the problem is that check that, it's 53. It's Keith Newman. Newman thinks that that first clutch right there is the pass, and he breaks on it. Fletcher sees it doesn't come and goes up the field. You know, again, that's another ball that should never be completed, but it's got magic Flutie pixie dust on it.
Fletcher, 7-year pro out of Wisconsin. Conway in motion, first down. San Diego. Flutie steps and throws. It's caught at the 23. Conway just stacking on the stats. Nate Clements bumped him out.
Look at that look on Doug Flutie's face. Absolute determination. He knows what's at stake. This is just a simple pitch and catch. Again, not an easy throw. It's about a 15-yard out. So the quarterback's got to drill it. But Doug Flutie knows what's at stake. And Craig, you know what's at stake here? They're looking for a share of first place in the AFC West. That's what's at stake. Now, he'd like to win this game for all the emotion involved with a personal duel and all that stuff. Mumbo jumbo, really. But, man, he wants to win this game because he wants to go to the Super Bowl with his team.
Conway in motion. First down. Flutie again. Fires. Incomplete. He wanted his tight end. Freddie Jones was tied up. Stops the clock with 7:29 remaining.
This is an important drive for Buffalo. 7:29 to go. If they can hold them to a field goal here, they're one touchdown away from taking the lead. If it's a touchdown, then they've got to score twice. Remember our rule, 2nd and 10. They want to keep them to 3rd and 7 or more.
Flutie with 2 wideouts. Picking his way through is Thomason, not much.
There it is.
And you know what? It's 3rd and 9.
It's 3rd and 9. And you know, you talk so much about 3rd down conversion. Well, 3rd down conversions are really made on 1st and 2nd down. Once again, when San Diego is 3rd and 7 or more, they fail to convert the first down 90% of the time. And so right now, there's a 9 out of 10 shot that they're going to be going for a field goal here. But they still got to run the play.
3rd down conversions, 7+ yards, as you were just mentioning. Chargers 2 out of 7. Flutie, shotgun. 2 wideouts, top of your screen. Flutie, that ball may have been tipped. Or that come off his hand at a bad angle. 4th and 9.
Well, he had Tim Dwight up the middle. Looked like he could have hit him, but he was looking for the hot hand, which was Conway up the sideline. But once again, it worked out. These are the statistics. These are the odds. Yeah, that gets tipped. That's big number 92. Tyrone Robertson gets his hands up in the air.
Wade Ritchie will try a 41-yard kick. It hangs up and no good.
You know, Ritchie is better than this. That's 2 field goals he's missed today.
It was wide right from 36.
Yeah. And once again,
he misses from 41.
He didn't hit it good. Look at it come up. It just sort of floats. See, that ball looks to me like he got under it too much. It goes straight, and it's a nice end over end. But it looks like his foot is too low on that ball, just like the first one that he missed. It just sort of went way up and kind of floated. It just didn't look. It didn't look the way a field goal ought to look.
Before the day started, Ritchie, pretty good season, 14 of 18. In the field goal department today, 2 of 4.
That's what I mean. That's not like him. He's a good kicker.
6:36 remaining. Timeouts look like this. Chargers have 3, Buffalo with 1. Johnson sets and throws down on the carpet. Did he get it? What tough catch. Larry Centers with those great hands, and now Rob Johnson looks like not only the ankle may be bothering him, but his throwing hand.
This is a very nice catch. Down low, get your hands up underneath. Very nice, but Rod Johnson has another advantage. And that advantage is not only is Junior Seau on the sideline, but number 75, Marcellus Wiley, is no longer in the game in the most critical pass rush situation of the whole game. He's on the sideline now.
Chargers showing blitz. Here it comes. They throw, batted, nearly intercepted. Tay Cody was nearby, stops the clock, 5:56 left.
He might have hit his right guard in the back of the helmet with that play. This is critical at this point. Just about 6 minutes to go. They've got to get down there and get some points. Yeah, that hits, it hits his center. That's Bill Conity. Hits him right in the head with the ball. Trying to set up a screen. Now, where's Larry Centers? Why aren't they throwing this ball to Larry Centers?
Well, he's in the backfield. Johnson, shotgun, 3 wide receivers. Johnson being chased from behind on a bad wheel. Gets it. Oh, took a shot. My goodness, Jason Perry, who picked him off earlier for the touchdown, put the hat on him.
He put the hat on him, but Rob Johnson wins. Rob Johnson wins because he has enough speed that it flattens out Jason Perry's angle. Jason Perry has to come in a flat angle here. Look at him flatten it out. And that's what allows him to get that first down. And so, yeah, he lays a hit, but Rob Johnson wins this battle. And Johnson has to take the hit because otherwise he doesn't get the first down. And so that's where a courageous quarterback, he's got to take it. Most of the time I'd want him to step out, but right there, that's an all Rob Johnson win.
Rob Johnson, good size, 6'4", 212. Handoff goes to Sammy Morris off the right side, picks up a couple. Orlando Ruff, the middle linebacker, made the tackle. Ruff, a third-year pro out of Furman.
Boy, they ran to the right side, which is where Adrian Dingle is filling in for Marcellus Wiley. Now, he's had a broken foot, and so I don't know if that broken foot flared up on him, but he's standing right on the sideline holding his helmet in his right hand and not able to be in there at this critical time.
Under 5 minutes left. Buffalo driving. Johnson throws. Far sideline near the first down. Peerless Price. Let's go back to New York City. Jim Nance for an update on New England, Denver. Jim.
All right, thank you, Bowler. Tom Brady had not thrown an interception in his first 162 attempts as a pro. Now he's thrown 3 in his last 8 attempts. Denard Walker runs this one back to put the Broncos up 11 with 2 minutes to play. Let's go back to the Bowler and Trevor.
Thank you, Jim.
You know what? He had such a great opening with his games there. I think you needed to learn that even Tom Brady can't throw the ball through defensive backs.
Third down, less than a yard. Flags are down. Henry with enough yardage for the first down, but flags are down. We just got a report that Marcellus
Prior to
Wiley,
the snap, false start. Offense, number 88,
with a groin strain.
5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Yeah, Marcellus Wiley groin strain, same injury that has Junior Seau on the sideline. 88 is Sheldon Jackson, their best run blocking tight end. They had him in there on that third and short. There's Marcellus, and that's a frustrated man right there. He knows the importance of this game. Again, win one for Doug Flutie, that's one thing. Look at that look on his face. That's a serious guy. The thing of it is, he's thinking Super Bowl. He's thinking Super Bowl. And every win counts. And right now, they're ahead by 3, but the opponents are driving and they're on a roll. And he can't help.
4:48 left. Third down and 6. Out of the backfield comes Moles. And now a timeout.
That's a good timeout. That's a very good timeout because
it's their last.
Yeah, well, still though, 3rd and 5, that's a good timeout. This drive is critical to them. There's less than 5 minutes to go, and if they're not sure what they're doing on this 3rd and 5, they better make sure they know what to do.
Trevor, this game has a lot of similarities to a year ago back at Ralph Wilson Stadium. In fact, last year, San Diego's Rob Johnson had a career number across the board that ended when Neil Smith knocked Johnson out of the game in overtime. Well, back up, Doug Flutie kept the OT drive alive and set up Steve Christie's 46-yard game-winning field goal. High snap, the kick is away. Good! That's the end of the game. 27-24 the final.
Okay, well, now they're reset. Now they're ready to go. They took their timeout. It was an important timeout for them, but man, that's an important time to take it. So now, what is Buffalo going to do? They've had time to think about it. They got man coverage on the left side.
3rd down 5. From their own 46-yard line, Johnson pumps, throws, wobbly ball, tip, caught! What a catch, pulled down by Moles at the 22.
Rob Johnson sees the man coverage on that side, throws the ball up in the air, and he threw it short so that Moulds could come back to it. Keep in mind that the receiver's going to see the ball in the air before the corner. He'll react back. So it's a double move, a pump, good coverage, but the ball is short. Now after that, it's just a matter of who's able to close to it better. And I'll tell you, I'll take Eric Moulds over most safeties in the league. And Jason Perry's a good athlete, but he's a backup.
Trevor, it was obvious, and Moulds was just trying to play some defense right there to keep the pick from happening, but he ends up with the football. 1st down. And leaning out to the 15, the 14-yard line, Travis Henry.
Travis Henry, very little used in this game, but boy, whenever he's been given the ball in the second half, it's been for an important run. Now take a look at this. It'll come out. Let's see if this ball's tipped. Well, no. Johnson's arm, actually his elbow, hits his left guard. That's Brown, Reuben Brown. That's why it came out short. But even so, a lot of times they'll throw it short intentionally. That's an example where an accident turned out to be a good thing.
3.5 minutes left. 2nd down 3. Johnson throws near sideline, and wrapping up his Peerless Price. McNeil knocked him down inside the 10.
I'll tell you, Rob Johnson now, this quarterback duel, he's driving the ball down. Right now they're in field goal range to tie it. They might score to go up. Of course, they could be an interception. They might not. But Doug Flutie is totally helpless right now. And he's looking at that clock thinking, you know, I need this ball back with as much time as I can. Because the winner of this particular battle between the quarterbacks is going to be the team victory.
9th play of this drive. 2 wideouts to the near side. Sheldon Jackson in motion on the ground, up the middle, picking his way. Travis Henry, pads are popping, and they push him back around the 8-yard line. John Perella led the charge.
And I'll tell you what, if you're Buffalo right now, you take your time. You let this thing run down as far as you possibly can. Because I'll tell you, there's no better quarterback in the NFL than Doug Flutie at running the 2-minute drill. As a matter of fact, Flutie was telling us this week about the times when...
Yeah, they're going to take it down to the 2 minutes. There's about 2 seconds between the game clock and the play clock.
Yeah, they'll be able to get it down to the 2-minute warning. Flutie was telling us about different scenarios for scoring touchdowns and field goals and what's good based on different scores at the end of a game. He's got it all mapped out. If you give him enough time, he'll be able to get you.
2-minute warning, 2017, and a thriller in San Diego. Tonight on 60 Minutes, did Saddam Hussein have a hand in the terror attack on the U.S.? Leslie Stahl reports from Saddam's Iraq tonight on 60 Minutes, followed by Oscar winner Richard Dreyfuss in the new hit series, The Education of Max Bickford. Then a magical wedding dress passes through the lives of 5 different couples. Time Daily stars in the CBS Sunday movie, The Wedding Dress. That's all tonight on CBS. Flutie lost the handle. On the deck, down at the... Did I say Flutie? Rob Johnson, pardon me. Rob Johnson at the 10.
You know what strikes me about this drive as well? It's happening without Junior Seau and Marcellus Wiley on the field for the Chargers defense, and Rob Johnson's taking good advantage of that. Yeah, it looked like the center held onto the ball. Looked like he squeezed it a little bit too long. Because it was a good snap. It was where it needed to be.
There's Junior, baseball cap. You know, it's interesting. We had a great talk with Seau on Thursday, excuse me, on Friday. And we asked him, how about coaching when it's all said and done? Not really. If I could, GM seemed to really kind of hit home.
He said he wanted to put together a team of intangibles.
Yeah.
He said that means I want the guys with good family values, good moral character, you know, upstanding, hard-working guys. You can keep all the prototype specimens. The character guys are the ones that will be standing in the fourth quarter. And right now, their best character guy is standing all right with a baseball cap on the sideline with an injured groin.
And Trevor, this game has lived up to all the hype. I've got to admit, all the articles that we came across, combed across, all the coaches, all the players who discussed this whole Flutie, Rob Johnson, feud with. There's emotion from start to finish here in San Diego. 1:55 to go, 3rd and goal. Johnson under pressure, on the run, has room. Popped out of bounds around the 6-yard line. Orlando Ruff put the hammer down.
Well, there's that courage. And down here, you got to do it. You got to throw your body in at this point, especially on 3rd down.
And you can see the grimace.
I tell you, and that's almost like a brain freeze when you drink an icy eat ice cream too fast. That kind of looks like what that feels like to him. Whoa, and he goes down again.
Ooh.
That's a woozy guy. I'll tell you, you got to admire his courage. You absolutely have got to admire his courage. He was looking for Larry Centers. We talked about Larry Centers being invisible in the passing game, and he was looking for him that time. He was well covered by linebacker Gerald Dixon, and that's why he had to pull it down and take off and run. But, when you've got a situation where you're on the goal line at the end of the game and you got to score, that's when the quarterback has to take the lick. And give credit to Rob Johnson for throwing his body in there.
There is a flag. We'll get the call from Tony Carante. When you saw the woozy Rob Johnson, quickly Alex Van Pelt had bolted onto the field and then was kind of waved back by Johnson.
There is no foul for late hit out of bounds. However, holding defense number 47-42. This penalty will be assessed 5 yards, automatic, first down.
Wow. That was 3rd down. They were going to have to go for a field goal, and now they get another set of downs. And, I like the decision to let Rob Johnson play this out. Let's take a look at where this hit occurs. That's a good hit. That's a legal hit. A little bit of hang time on Rob Johnson, but his head hit the ground, and I'll tell you, that's another scary thing. He flies through the end. Watch the back of his head, just the back of his head. That's where he got knocked woozy. But I'll tell you what, he has earned the right to either finish off this drive or not. Look how dirty his jersey is. Playing behind an offensive line with some rookies playing, some young guys with a left tackle with a bad knee. And yet here they are with a chance to go to head. Rob Johnson has earned the right to finish it.
A 1:47 remaining, 1st down and goal to goal. They're going to hand it off up the middle, close. Travis Henry. Well, Chargers say a fumble. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Team that started 0-4, Buffalo, and won last week and now on the road. Look at this, 79 Reuben Brown. Their Pro Bowl guard clears the way. And look, that's a great job by the rookie Travis Henry. Look at him reach it out with one hand. Now right now he's already down.
Touchdown right there.
Yeah, no, it's already down. By the time the ball comes out, he's down and that ball is over. That's a risky thing to do, though. He's got to make sure that he doesn't get it slapped out before he gets down or before it crosses the plane. And on 1st down, I think that was a bit too risky. They're going to challenge this. There's no way this will be called a fumble. However, Craig, one thing that a rookie needs to understand down at this point is that it's 1st down. The worst thing that'll happen if he keeps it tucked in is that it'll be 2nd down and an inch to go. but he's going to try to reach it across. Now, he's still got the ball. He's got the ball. He's got the ball.
Yeah.
He's down, he's down, he's down, right? But the thing of it is, you know, they're going to call this a touchdown, but it's still risky. And even though he scored, if I'm the coach, I tell him tomorrow, hey, you know, good effort. However, keep that thing tucked in and let's run it again on second down. That's what I tell him.
This play under review, and remember, Trevor, inside the last 2 minutes, the challenge has to come from upstairs. And that's where Mike Riley was pointing up above us.
Well, there's two things that they're going to look at here. One is his knee down, because he's actually going to be laying on top of his own guy. The other is his forward progress stopped. All right, there. He's laying on his own player. That's Jay Riemersma, but forward progress is stopped. And his knee might well be down. We can see that from another angle. And so there's no way that that's going to be a touchdown. The two choices here are, or excuse me, it won't be a fumble. Two choices are, is it a touchdown? Because his forward progress, now watch his forward progress, stop. Now, yep, does the ball cross the plane before that progress stops? Or does he reach out and cross the plane after the forward progress stops? That's going to be the key question.
He's just kind of riding the wave of Jay Riemersma, the tight end. On his back, there's 85, and I don't see a knee down.
His knees aren't down, absolutely not. So then it'll be a question of, did the ball cross the plane before his forward progress stopped? You can't lay on the ground for 5 minutes and then reach the ball forward. You know, it's a forward progress issue. Or lay on your own player, for that matter.
After reviewing the play, the Buffalo running back dove towards the goal line, lying on bodies, had never touched the ground, reached the ball beyond the goal, touchdown.
There it goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good explanation by the referee, Tony Corrente. That's the most important thing. No knee, no body part ever touched the ground. He was swimming.
And before his forward progress stopped, the ball was reached over.
Yeah. So with 1:30 remaining, the extra point here by Arians, who can put Buffalo on top by 4. And 4 points it is. 24-20 Buffalo with 1 minute 30 seconds remaining.
Well, the quarterback duel continues. Now the question is, does Doug Flutie have any magic pixie dust left in that arm?
Oh, I know he has 2 timeouts left. "12 plays, 68 yards over 5 minutes. And the most important was that Johnson, you know, just led this team with confidence. He took some big shots.
Took some huge shots.
4 of 5 in the passing department.
And he took the shots at the times he needed to. He got that big first down when he took the shot from Jason Perry. Took the shot down there on the goal line. Absolutely deserved to finish that play and score that touchdown. Finish that drive and score that touchdown.
And again, to remind you, no timeouts remaining for Buffalo. Flutie has 2 in his pocket with 1 minute 30 remaining.
Now, don't discount this kickoff. Remember that Buffalo's special teams is much improved from last year. However, they still are coming off last year that was not good. And they're playing better now, but they're going against Ronnie Jenkins and one of the best kickoff return units in the NFL.
Ronnie Jenkins, of course, last week burnt Denver, gave San Diego, really set the tempo for that game against the Broncos on the opening kickoff, went 88 yards and gave San Diego some early confidence. Jenkins is the deep man. Fletcher around the 9-yard line. Good kick at the 2. Jenkins up the middle at the 20. Jenkins at the 25, 30. Ronnie Jenkins at the 40. Ronnie Jenkins at the 40, the 35, 30, and tackled from behind by the man who kicked it, Brian Moorman.
That's what we were talking about. Don't discount the kickoff return. The way he got that was he started with a middle return. The entire protection team, all 10 blockers were right in the middle. Ronnie Jenkins got up in there. Buffalo's coverage guys squeezed it down, and then he broke out to his right. Look, he'll start right up the middle. Now all the Buffalo's guys converge, and then he breaks it out to his right after he sucks him up in there by making him think it's a middle return. And I'll tell you this, that you got to give that kicker, Jake Aarons, credit. It'll be a face mask, but I don't care what you have to do. I mean, a kicker's not supposed to cover, or excuse me, tackle Ronnie Jenkins in the open field. I don't care if he grabs his face mask, his shoelaces, or throws a rock at him. You know, you give Jake Aarons a lot of credit for what he did right there. But this sure changes the dynamic of what Doug Flutie has to do.
72-yard return. You tack on the flag. And just like that, Trevor, my goodness, Flutie with the 2 timeouts and 1:19 left is sitting pretty at the 13-yard line of Buffalo. Four wide receiver set. Fletcher, the lone back. He flushes out. Flutie escapes. The little man on the run. Flutie fired. Touchdown! Game ball in hand. 13 yards. Doug Flutie, 6th career rushing touchdown, and his first since November 12th of 2000. Extra point. The snap is away. The kick is good.
My goodness.
Oh, what a classic. 27-24 Chargers, 1:10 remaining. Now remember, Rob Johnson has moved this team very well, Trevor, in this second half of play, but has no timeouts in his back pocket.
You know, Doug Flutie just ducks, and the storm washes over his back. I think he was a bit surprised that no one had a hold of him when he took off running. But he'll just duck right here. That's big 91 Sean Price, takes a swat at him, but doesn't catch any cloth. And Doug says, hey, I'm still on my feet, and there we go. And that is classic, magic, Doug Flutie, pixie dust.
You know what? He didn't have to throw it. He had the pixie dust this time on the shoes.
I've seen him do that. I played with him in New England with the Patriots. You know, he did something like that against the Colts, I remember, years and years ago in the late 80s. And so, you know, he still got it.
Flutie just turned 39, by the way. October 23rd, Tuesday of last week. This man in his 16th professional season. He's thrown for over 54,000 yards, 41,000 of that in the Canadian Football League.
And there's the Flutie sign held up. I want to see someone hold up a Ronnie Jenkins sign too. Kickoff returner to set all that up. Let's ask for 28 jerseys out there next week, folks.
Wade Ritchie from the 30-yard line, boots away. It's a high floater taken inside the 10. Nate Clements on his feet at the 30. Clements at the 35 and works his way to the 36-yard line. Buffalo with good field position with 1 minute, 2 seconds remaining.
And now no timeouts. Remember, they took their last timeout on that touchdown drive at a critical 3rd and 5. It was a good time to do it, but now there are no timeouts left. At this point, they can't really work the middle of the field. Maybe the first play, but now they've really got to get the thing to the sideline.
And Junior Seau, no surprise, after a couple of series of rest here in the 4th quarter, has come on the field nursing that sore groin. Hang on. 1:02 left from the shotgun. Rob Johnson has running room. Heads to the sideline. He wants to stop the clock, and out of bounds at midfield. 54 seconds remaining. Now remember, you don't need the touchdown. I mean, if you want to just get to overtime, you get the field goal opportunity.
That's right. And keep in mind that Jake Aarons kicked the game winner 46 yards. last week. So he's got some range, and he's proven he can kick it under pressure, even though he's a young guy.
That's a great point. Arians, as you mentioned, 46 yards with 1:03 left to beat Jacksonville. You know what Greg Williams said to us? He kept telling him, you're going to get another chance. You're going to get another chance, and he sure did.
That's when he missed 2 earlier in the game.
Johnson again, flushed out, runs to the sideline, and out of bounds at the 46.
I like this. His guys are covered. He's not trying to force it in. He's chipping it down the field. He's getting to the sideline. 47 seconds to go. He knows that it's about a field goal. It's not about forcing the ball for maybe a touchdown and maybe a pick. And Doug Flutie, once again, his fate is no longer in his hands.
On the season, Arians has kicked one from 49. Out of Alabama, Birmingham. 2nd down and 6. Flags are down. Rob Johnson in trouble, and whistles will stop play.
Prior to the snap of the ball, false start. Offense, number 84. 5-yard penalty remains. 2nd down.
Reggie Germany, a rookie from Ohio State. Whistle for the flag.
That's almost a good thing, because Johnson was going to get tackled in the middle of the field and time was going to burn off the clock. Right now it's really about time, since they have no timeouts left. They can still at this point throw the ball deep over the middle, run up and spike it.
Johnson, shotgun, wants to throw over the middle. Oh, circus catch at the 26-yard line. The tight end, Remersma.
Thank
you.
Remersma.
25-yarder. Oh, and he's down.
They've got to be careful here. Okay, 26 seconds to go. The problem is, in the last 2 minutes, if an offensive player goes down in this situation, they can run 10 seconds off the clock.
Yeah. Well, he took a shot as he flipped over, holding the midsection.
Game clock.
Yeah, he was completely helpless as he was bobbling that ball.
Please reset the game clock to 16 seconds.
They ran the 10 seconds.
They're going to run off the 10.
That's because they have no timeouts. They would have charged them a timeout. Instead, because what they don't want guys to do is players to fake injuries to save timeouts so the clock stops. So they say, okay, if you're in the offense, they'll run it down. And they actually give the defense the choice of whether to do that or not, because sometimes the defense will decline that because they want the time for their offense. But at this point, since Buffalo has no timeouts left, they chose to run it off. But still, Jay Remersma, absolutely career catch.
There's Arians loosening up the leg. You saw his numbers today, 1 of 2, good from 41, short from 45, kind of a line drive kick. Remersma, we had a great talk with him yesterday about just his that ball was a little bit off the back of the thumb of Rob Johnson, but how he's really making him a name at the tight end position. Of course, Tony Gonzalez in the AFC with Kansas City gets so much press. Also, Wycheck has rewritten what the tight end position is, lining up at slot. But they're trying to work the same thing here with number 85.
Well, I'll tell you, number 85 made a catch there that is going to make the highlight reels tonight. And his peers around the NFL are going to see that. And even hardened NFL veterans will be impressed about that. And one thing that really struck me about that play was, as we take another look at this catch, this is, wow. What a way to pull the trigger on that. Yeah. Unbelievable. However, at the other end, remember that Marcellus Wiley is not on the field. He would normally be rushing from Rob Johnson's right side, from right in his face. With Marcellus Wiley out, the defensive end that took his place, Adrian Dingle, got blocked by John Carmen, and on Rob Johnson's right side, the direction he was facing, there was a ton of space, a ton of room, and he could step up and deliver that ball.
Well, as Flutie looks on, he's doing the math as well. Trevor, 43-yard field goal from this point, but still 16 seconds left. Now remember, Arians hit one from 46 a week ago with 1:03 remaining against Jacksonville to win that game 13-10.
Yeah, and at this point, ball security is what matters.
And just a reminder, 60 minutes coming up next here on CBS. 16 ticks on the clock.
Number one, no interception. Oh, there you go.
Spiked it down.
Yeah, good call. They were going to wind that clock, so that's why they did that. Now they can stop and think about it, just like that other 3rd and 5. Oh, nope, they're not going to think. They're bringing him in now.
Going to bring him in.
That's very interesting. That's a conservative call, because had they run a play, if they take a sack, then they're probably out of his range. There could be an interception. Instead, they're saying, look, we're going to go for it right now.
You know what? This actually, they're going to mark this at the 44. This will be a 44-yard field goal. The placement will be at the 34. So officially a 44-yard try.
And Jake Arians last week, 1:03 to go, kicked the game winner from 46.
And let's see if the Chargers would use a timeout to ice him. They've got 2 if they want to use a timeout. This would tie the game. 15 seconds left. Jake Arians. Flutie looks on. Good snap. The kick is away. Block! Wow.
This ball has to come out low because it's a 44-yarder. And the guys up there get it just on the top 3 knuckles of their fingers, and that's all you need. Almost no reaction from Doug Flutie. I'll tell you, it's amazing, though, that with all the give and take between these 2 quarterbacks, Rob Johnson knows he did what he had to do. He drove him down with no timeouts left in the field goal range. He's not kicking the field goal. You know, he can just drive it down there. That's all he can do. But it's amazing that all the give and take between these 2 quarterbacks, with all the soap opera stuff going on, all the subplots and the plots, it came down to not the quarterbacks at all. It came down to the field goal block team of the San Diego Chargers. Now, how ironic a finishing is that?
7 seconds left. Flutie will take a knee. 27-24. Chargers. What an incredible turnaround from a year ago, Trevor, when this team finished 1-15, and even Mike Riley's job was in jeopardy until late in the season. And that's when the front office made a flight and said, nope, you're our coach.
Yep, and for good reason. They love playing for him. But, you know, his quarterback, Doug Flutie, he's got the right one. So much is made of whether Buffalo got rid of the right guy. Should they have kept Flutie? Should they have kept Johnson? You know what? They kept both teams have the right guy. Now, the Chargers have the ball here, even though it was 3rd down, because it crossed the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
When it's blocked, if it doesn't cross the line of scrimmage, it's as if it were never kicked. It's like a fumble. If it crosses the line of scrimmage, it's as if it were never blocked. It's like a kick. Therefore, it's like a punt. And so, therefore, the Chargers have the ball. But Rob Johnson is the right quarterback for Buffalo, because Buffalo is the 2nd youngest team in the AFC. Johnson at 28 is just now coming into his prime as a quarterback. 3 or 4 years from now, when the rest of those Bills are in their prime, he will be in his prime. Buffalo will not have to then break in a new quarterback at that point. On the other side, Doug Flutie is the perfect quarterback for San Diego, because they had turmoil at quarterback. What they needed is someone with credibility to come in.
Stability.
You know, I mean, this city was afflicted with Ryan Leaf. That's the only thing I can say. I mean, it wasn't, they didn't have to deal with Ryan Leaf. They didn't have to endure Ryan Leaf. They were afflicted with Ryan Leaf.
By rule, a missed field goal that is recovered by the kicking team beyond the line of scrimmage is going to be returned to the spot where the ball was kicked. 1st down.
And so the reason that Doug Flutie is the perfect quarterback for San Diego is because he provides the stability, the credibility, and the confidence in the position that this organization hasn't had for years. Rob Johnson is the perfect quarterback in Buffalo. No matter all the Flutie fans in Buffalo, he loves it that you're a fan, and he loves the support. But, you know, you do have the quarterback that you need over the course of the next 5, 6, 8 years. So both teams got the guy that they should have.
Well, look at the fans, the media rushing this field. Johnson heads quickly to the locker room. This game, you can circle it. Incredible. Junior Seau, not 100%. Played what he could. 27-24 the final. And a reminder tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, the education of Max Bickford, and the CBS Sunday movie, The Wedding Dress. So for Trevor Manich and Scott Kaplan, this is Craig Bolerjack saying so long from Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego with a final score and a thriller. The Chargers 27, Buffalo 24. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.
Hello again, Spencer Tillman here with you on NFL Sunday Ticket. I'll fill you in on everything from around the National Football League, scores, stats, and today's top performers and more right after this short 30-second break.